Hey, Millikan, what's up? I'm Noah Devine, and this is Corridon News, the home for all of your Millikan news. More League football kicks off this Friday with all teams in action, including your Millikan Rams, in the game of the week. I'm going to give you a preview of every game and give you a little recap of how the More Leagues performed so far. First game, the Lakewood Lancers 0-3 versus the Jordan Panthers 3-1. Lakewood is coming off a 35-0 defeat to Corona Del Mar, and has really been struggling all season, being outscored by a combined 83-8. This is definitely a surprise for a typically strong Lancers program, but it appears this year might be a bit of a struggle for Coach Christensen's squad, led by sophomore QB Giovanni McCoy and More League Player of the Year candidate running back Sebastian Kronberger. Jordan, on the other hand, is having its best start to a season since 2008. They're on a 3-game win streak, coming off a 17-7 win over Norwalk. A big reason for this early season success is junior quarterback and free safety Anthony J. Scott, my pick for the More League Breakout Player of the Year, and senior running back and wide receiver and outside linebacker Deshaun Harris. These two also return punts and kickoffs, truly a dynamic duo leading Jordan to a More League leading 107 points. The last few years, these teams have played close, physical games that have ended up deciding who would go to the playoffs. I believe Lakewood has a bounce-back game behind Kronberger, who will rush for 150 yards and 2 TDs. But I believe the dynamic duo of Harris and Scott score 4 TDs and are too much for Lakewood to handle. Final score, 35-14 Jordan. Our next game is the Cabrillo Jaguars at 0-4, playing the Wilson Bruins at 2-2. Cabrillo is off to a rough start, being outscored 144-33. Coming off a 34-0 loss to Compton Centennial. This is a young Cabrillo team with only 7 seniors, led by senior running back and linebacker Fasoe Kealawi. Not much to celebrate here or elaborate on. It's a rebuilding year on the west side. Wilson has become a More League playoff staple over the past few years under the helm of head coach Ziegenhagen. Wilson is coming off a 52-14 win over St. Anthony's, a game pegged the Battle of 7th Street. With this win, they are on a 2-game win streak and appear to be a different team after their 0-2 start. Wilson is led by a strong junior duo of QB Ryan Petway and running back Dylan Harris. They are joined by senior Zachariah Dolphin, a wideout who scored 3 touchdowns last week. I predict Wilson to simply overpower the young Cabrillo squad and improve their win streak to 3 games with a 52-21 win. Next up, we have Gardena 1-3. Playing Compton Tarbabes 3-0. Compton is atop the More League standings. I repeat, Compton is the only undefeated team left in the More League. A lot of people are probably shocked by this, but this is no random occurrence, I tell you. This definitely is one of the best Compton squads of the past decade, if not the best. They are big on the offensive and defensive lines, maybe even bigger than Pauley. The Compton rushing squad totaled 443 yards on 51 carries last week in their 42-26 win over Dominguez, making them the Hub City champs. And all 4 players who recorded a carry for the Tarbabes found the end zone last week. They have outscored opponents 96-32 this season, a More League best margin of victory. This team has a 4-headed running back quarterback group that could go off for 100 yards individually any given week. These 4 Tarbabes I'm dubbing the Fantastic Four. These are senior running back, linebacker Terrence Pratt, quarterback Jesse Brew, running back Niles Hibbert, and running back Jaheim Hunt. I predict they keep on the train and run down the Gardena defense for a 42-13 dub. My bold prediction for Compton is that they will make the playoffs this year with a winning record and, yes, win a CIF Division 10 title. Yes, I just said Compton will win Division 10 title. And now, for your Game of the Week. Your Millikan Rams at 2-1, playing the Long Beach Poly Jackrabbits at 2-2. This is a clash of the 2 best teams in the More League last year and should be the 2 best this year. Poly is coming off a deflating 2-game losing streak with a 20-6 loss by La Salle, and last week a nail-biting 29-25 loss by Sarah. The Poly defense has been outstanding this year, only giving up 8, 3, 20, and a misleading 29 points due to penalties and interceptions in the Sarah game. This defensive unit is led by senior defensive backs Alex Austin and twins Keon and Kawan Markham, as well as senior defensive ends Elijah Dolphin and Timothy Gomez. The offense has relied heavily on explosive plays and great field position due to defense and special teams to squeak by in wins. Transfer sophomore quarterback CJ Montez has relied on the track star twins for big play TDs, but has only scored a few touchdowns on the whole season. Some view this as a subpar start to the season, even having some questions to whether they will defeat Millikan. Now for your Millikan Rams. The Rams are off to a 2-1 start, coming off a much-needed bye week to get healthy and well-rested. This season so far has left a somewhat neutral taste in my mouth. Our defense, led by junior linebacker Joshua Robinson-Little, senior linebacker Nick Lombardi, and senior defensive backs Zach Martin, Jajon Van Hook, Jaden Davis, Justin Bailey, and Albert Fuller, have created a no-fly zone for opponents' passing games. Senior defensive tackle Imhotep Pryor, junior defensive end Iluta Noah, senior defensive lineman John Harding, and linebacker Jalen Jefferson have helped shut down the run. This defense has allowed the second least points in the Moore League at 44, by making up for size with heart and a classic style of gang tackling, seeing all 11 men swarm to the ball each play. Our offense, led by Millikan passing touchdown record holder, junior quarterback Kawan Campbell Caldwell, senior running back Jalen Jefferson, and Kawan Q. Campbell. This unit is off to a slow start, scoring 7, 10, and 28 points. Jefferson, more of a power back, and Q, more of a speed back, create a tough duo for defenses to prepare for. Then we have the best receiving core in the Moore League, I'm dubbing the Fab Five. Seniors Zach Martin, Cal commit Malik Bradford, Dylan Davis, Jaden Davis, and junior Nathan Martinez. Seniors Jacob Starkey, Andrew Miramontes, and Joe Lucifer are leading a veteran offensive line that will be the Rams' key to success versus Pauley and all of our opponents this year. Both of these units are extremely talented and filled with seniors and experienced juniors that will lead the Rams into what could be a historic season. My prediction for this game is that it will be the Moore League game of the year, with both teams using their defenses to stay in the game. Whichever team can fix their offensive hiccups from non-league play will most likely win this game. I truly believe this Millikan squad wants this game more than anything and more than Pauley. So, I'm making the prediction that the final score will be 29-28. Millikan. Yes, Millikan. Millikan is going to pull off the upset of the ages and defeat the Giants' Long Beach Pauley. Tune in for more Millikan Corridon news next week. And throughout the week, we'll have an interview with Zach Martin and water polo captains Cade Brownlee and Seamus McDonald.